It feels like I've been saying this quite a lot repeatedly, but genuinely this weekend feels like it's the beginning of the season for me. It's the first weekend where I've got everything playing. Finally, they're all playing. I can pick all my cards. I can do whatever I want with all my teams. And this is going to be my 4th season on Sorare. And it's this time of year where it's a really good opportunity, you know, around now, ideally maybe after the transfer window closes, just because of how crazy this summer's been, to really get down on paper, in the notepad, in the little file on your phone, whatever it might be, some goals and objectives based on the gallery as it stands now for the upcoming season. And for me personally, I break my goals and objectives for my gallery into 3 different categories based on the strategy and how to set goals that I've spoke about previously on videos. If you have not caught that video, I'll link it at the end so you can just go and watch that when you're done with this one. Because there's a lot going on in Sorare. Yeah, there's money and there's ROI to be chasing, but there's also cards and other stuff to be chasing, and there's also the point of playing the game in the first place. So in the video today, I'll be going through my 3 different types and what they are, goals for the upcoming season for being a player on Sorare for the cards in the gallery that I've currently got at the moment. These goals, you can adapt them to your own gallery and stuff like that. Of course you can. If you're new to Sorare and you haven't even started yet, there's a link in the description in this video. They'll get you a free card once you've bought 5 cards from auction. It's the best way to sign up. It's the way that everyone signs up. And if you open up a Sorare account and you've not got a free card when you buy your first 5 auctions, you're 1 card worse off than everyone else. The card you get, you can keep it, you can sell it, you can do whatever you want with it. By clicking on that link, you support me and all the content here, so thank you in advance if you do so. If you get stuck, you need any help, jump into the comment section, I'll come and sort you out. But also in the description in this video, there's beginner tutorials and guides to actually help you with the basics to get up and running. This video isn't for you if you've just found this. This is for galleries that are set up and ready to go for this season. At any point in the video today, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something, or you know, whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel. We are pushing, striving, forging towards 10,000 subscribers, and we cannot do that without your support. So if you do enjoy the content here, share it around, drop a like, get involved in the comments section, let me know your thoughts and feelings and your opinions. Sorare scouts and managers from around the world. Let's just get stuck into it. The first category of goals and objectives I'm going to try and assess and, you know, actually lay out for myself and my club is what cards I'd like to win. This is a trading card game, of course, and we all want to build the best teams possible with all of our favourite players, but we can't afford to buy them all, of course, or not all of us anyway. And the primary way to get cards you can't afford is by winning them. And that's the first place to start for me and for my club, is thinking about the cards I want to win, because that's then going to determine and dictate what cards I need, you know, to go on and achieve that, because some cards can only be played in some competitions, and some cards are better in some competitions than in some others. So how can I build a team if I don't know what cards I want to win? Now for me, I've only got 3 cards this season. Like, I could name to you in this video right now and say, if I win those cards, if I'm doing a reward opening and we pull these guys out as a rare, never mind a bloody super rare, I'd lose my mind, then I'm going to count that as a massive W for the season, even if they're injured or even if anything else wacky's happened to them, because it is my stated goal, my objective, to go and get these 3 cards. And these 3 cards actually break into 3 wee categories of their own. The first one is the star, who is the pinnacle, the top of the mountain card that I greatly want, need and desire to come into my club. I've never been much of an Mbappe guy when it comes to Sorare, or a Kimmich, or a Messi, or whatever. I don't think this guy even comes into that conversation. But with Man City just winning the treble last year and going on to make further history hopefully this year, I would love to be a first owner of an Erling Haaland Man City. Not too bored about when he was at Borussia Dortmund, but now it's totally different, and guy's a goal maker, you know, just makes goals happen. They just score off his foot all the time. And as far as the star category goes, the top of the tree, if I'm getting into that category, who am I crossing my toes and fingers and praying that I get? It is Erling Haaland this year, no two ways about it. Now, I'd love lots of other Man City cards, so if I pull a Phil Foden or a Julian Alvarez or something like that, of course, I'm going to be very, very happy. But Haaland is, of course, numero uno. The second card is I am always quite motivated to try and win guys that I just could not spend the money on for one reason or another. And for one reason or another, throughout the 4 seasons I've been playing Sorare, he's either not been available, or when he has been available, I've just never been that motivated to spend the money required to buy him and bring him into my gallery, despite his quality and how good he actually is in the game. And that is none other than Antoine Griezmann. I would love to win a Griezmann this year because, again, like I say, I just couldn't take myself into the market as things stand, on a lot of occasions as times went on, it's so rare to actually bring one in by trade, by purchase, whatever. But if I could win one this year, particularly an Atletico Madrid kit that's actually quite nice. Last season's kit was a bit minging, and I don't think those cards are good. I don't like them. And of course, the guy is a so rare goat, you know, so Griezmann would be a great talisman, a great card I'd love to be first owner of. And again, if I opened a reward and I got a Griezmann in it, I would be made. And number 3 has definitely got to be a passion project, a card that is just near and dear to me, but it is, again, maybe similar to the Griezmann and the Haaland in that respect, where winning it is the way to acquire it. I'm not going to be going and buying it anytime soon in the market. I cannot imagine I'm going to be able to pull off a trade with what I've got in the gallery, with what I'd be willing to give up to bring him in. I used to have him, again, similar to Griezmann. He's a bit of an SO5 GOAT, bit of a cult icon, as it were. I used to have him in my club. He is an FC Barcelona legend, and we long miss him. And with his impending transfer to RB Leipzig, we need to get more Martin van de Voort coverage back in FC Barcelona. And I would be, and I know goalkeepers isn't something a lot of people get buzzing about winning, but if I win a Van de Voort, similar to the last two guys, I'll be spinning on this chair and doing cartwheels, and I will be made. So those are the top 3 cards that I want to win this year. Now, what do they all have in common? Well, 2 of them are under 23, and 2 of them are in Champion. Well, before Sorare did some updates and some innovations to the Champion region, I was actually building a bit of a Champion attack this year with that in mind. So Champions maybe got a little bit more difficult, but again, the cards are still there to be won. And with the summer transfer play I had of the 3 Ts, Hennas moved to PSG on the bench, Tani moved to Belgium Division 2, and Anatoly Trubin, the 3 Ts. Trubin has landed in Benfica. He didn't play last weekend. I don't think he'll play this weekend, but there's no way you don't bring Trubin in to not get him ready to play Champions League. And as soon as Trubin starts playing for Benfica, I can play him in any region. I can win a Martin van de Voort. So Trubin makes me Van de Voort capable, and under 23 is a great region to try and win him. And again, with Mbappe aging out and all the other stuff I'm hearing folk making noises about under 23, oh, it's not that good this year. No, it's going to be harder to win because there's less monsters. Been building a wee sneaky contingent. Pro, rare pro, could do a little bit of both. So I feel quite well equipped to go out and try and win my top 3 cards this year, down to the business I've made in the summer. Now, as I'm talking about this and you're thinking, oh, well, the star guy I want would be this, or the passion project guy would be that, or whatever. And then you realise maybe your cards aren't actually able to go and win you these cards. Or if you're in Cap 270 and All-Star, yeah, you can win anything there. But the pools are so blooming deep that, you know, fishing for something specific is needle in a haystack. Whereas Tier 0 and Challenger, Tier 0 and under 23, you're going to find Van de Voort, you're going to find Haaland. Tier 0 and whatever in Champion, you're going to find Griezmann, you're going to find Haaland. The second one, and maybe the most juicy one, the one that Sorare scouts and managers from around the world that have been on the channel a little bit longer, and a bit more longer in the tooth, and a bit more established himself, have a bit more of an interest in, and a wee bit more of, oh, how do you think about this, and how do you lay this out, is the ROI aspect, right? Now, the ROI aspect for me is very difficult to quantify. Because for me personally, SRD value is very subjective. I'll give you a quick example of why I don't like it for my gallery. McGregor Unique, I value above last sale. And Skorupski and Illich being bundle cards, they come up here as like no sale just because of the way their transactions have went. So I don't really take that as gospel. It's definitely something, and again, you could do this all across the gallery. Guys that are overpriced and some guys that are under. Generally speaking, you could probably sleep on it and say, yeah, it's round about that number, but it's not exact. So I struggle to use that as the defining metric on percentages and stuff. Now, what I do find a lot of comfort in is the thresholds and how determined that they are, because that's the only thing you can really project solid ROI against, because card prices, podium payouts, All-Star, Champion Euro, prize places are much more difficult to guarantee, to forecast, and to like actually say, oh, this is my ROI target, because there's so much variables and so much out of your control. Now, of course, you can set targets and aspirations of, I want to have 5 podiums this year and that kind of thing, which is cool. But for a gallery that's up and running, you're thinking about actual ROI on the platform, it's a little bit different. Now, last season on Sorare, I won a lot of cards. I pulled actually a fair amount of ETH off of podiums and stuff like that. I did get a fair amount of thresholds, but this season is going to be the first season where we've got a full season of basically guaranteed thresholds in terms of the stipulations, the criteria, etc. So for me personally, I would expect my yield from last year, my ROI, to increase year on year. So last year, I think in terms of like just general like cards and podium payouts and all that kind of stuff, out of this figure that's on screen here, I I think I probably got about a third of that over last season in particular. So you're talking about the thick end of, I don't know, about 8 or 9 grand or something like that. So if we take that and we add on thresholds and then a realistic percentage of success now already this season over 2 game weeks, I'm not having my full gallery. Yeah, I've not hit it yet. So hopefully this weekend we get the first one of the season and we get up and running. But if we take a 3 out of 5 hit rate over the next 9 months of the season, the reason I say 3 weeks out of 5 is I think with a gallery my size, there's 1 midweek a month where I could be in the hunt for it. So I would say 5 opportunities over a calendar month for a gallery like me is reasonable to think I can enter a team and have a shot at it. So if I was successful, let's say 3 times out of 5, maybe you want to think it'll be 2, maybe you think it's 1, maybe you think it's 0. I hope not. Over the next 9 months of the season, that would pull in just under £7,000, 6,750, which on top of last year's ROI, I think it should be in the region, something like £14,000 is what I'm aiming for this season, which for a gallery, you've seen the value on screen previously of where it's kind of arbitrarily valued based on previous market activity. That's like, what, 50% or something? So I think if that's my rough guesstimates, I would probably then tone that down. So me personally, my ROI target for this year is probably going to be a third. I'm going to go for 33% and have a little fail-safe on 25%. As long as it's at 25%, I can say, okay, maybe some things went against me, but as long as it's at that level, I've been as competitive as I possibly could be. And that's decent enough. Below that, I definitely need to look at my strategy, the strength of my cards, and the performance on my team selection, and look at why haven't I hit threshold as often, and why haven't I hit as many podiums this year versus last year, for example. It'll be much easier to do that later, because I've set goals and set some parameters out there now. And the third target I've got is designated in my notes for this video as other. But again, if you've seen the other videos I've done, you'll know that I love to use my gallery, and I recommend a lot of you guys do in different compartments. So in terms of the ROI compartment, that's firmly going to be in the domain of most of my super rares. And for like the card acquisition stuff, a lot of that's going to be done by my rares. So the cards that are not going to be striving towards those goals, what are they doing? What are they helping with? And that is the other. What am I progressing towards? What am I trying to add into my club or move my club forward with? And number one thing is uniques, more super rares. That's for my club. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get more high ground, more scarcer cards, and move myself up as far as I can, as much as I can every season. And I think we've done a pretty good job. Last year was maybe a bit more consolidation after all the Celtic stuff we had to do to get all the Celtic cards in. And this year now it feels like get Barcelona, get FC Barcelona back to the top of the leaderboards where it belongs. So all my other cards are going to be hopefully winning me some tier 3s, winning me some tier 2s, getting me little bits of ETH here and there, maybe some tier 2 supers. No, not tier 2, I'm thinking tier 4 and tier 5, you know, the 220 stuff. Get me some of that in and let me go and trade. Maybe even I can win a unique. Maybe even I could actually win one of those things. But maybe I can win some other stuff that I can trade and barter around the market to cumulatively then acquire something uniquely special that could make a big difference to my team. In order to do that, I've got a unique Edward, I've got a unique McGregor. Those guys are not going anywhere anytime soon. And I've got 3.5 super rare goalkeepers. So I've maybe just about got enough that if I did actually achieve my strategy, I could actually, you know, reap the benefits of it, which would be fantastic. And again, realizing and understanding what the goal is, and then imagine you're in that space. Can you actually capitalize upon it? Is something again to think about and put yourself in the mind frame of. And if it's, well, no, because I've only got 1 goalkeeper, or no, because I wouldn't have this, then again, that's something to build into the plan and the landscape for it all. This is set to be the biggest season ever on Sorare, guys. I've got a bunch of stuff planned on the channel over the coming weeks and months, and I hope you'll enjoy joining me for it. Had a great time, guys, so far this season. I just can't wait for it. It's going to be brilliant. On screen now is some other stuff that I've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy, and I've put that video on that I mentioned earlier. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.